Contrast to the numerous vessels you have seen within the crypt, the robed man who sits in the nearby throne boasts every semblance of life. Only the pallor of his skin and the clawing odour of decay suggest anything to the contrary. His fingers drum a steady tattoo against the thick, withered grimoire he carries.
When my hunters informed me that there was a disturbance in the crypt, I looked out over the water, and there it was, a sail, a ship. For that instant, it was as if my heart skipped a beat. You can appreciate the irony there, perhaps. I must assume, of course, that you have escaped from someone's dinner plate.
Menzzago.
Just so. How have you found Splintered Reef? It must make a curious scene to an outsider. A flock of gruesome puppets whiling away their lives in leisure. Decades of work undone by a nazenale. I have few hobbies with which to fill these long hours, and now I am denied even this. I, who was second in command to the great captain Lucia Rivan. Until the day came that I was charged to perch here and maintain her forces until she should call upon me again. A century of waiting while she sailed freely upon the sea. E così. But why not enjoy my stay? I have crafted my own little empire. Do not think I have forgotten my duty. I gave dear Rivan a part in my little mythology. Our glorious founder. But it is my little paradise, and you have no part in it, but that of livestock.
Barbarian corpse. Are you responsible for the spell on these people?
In part, I set my best people to the task. You may have met them on your way here? Briefly?
I think so.
It took some time to perfect the illusion that holds Splintered Reef together. A spell of enormous power, requiring a focus. The sphere, just there.
He indicates with a lazy wave of the hand the sphere of energy at the base of the steps.
You may have cost me valuable allies, but we have, all of us, been here a long time. I have others at my command. I need only summon them.
I am here to free the people of Splintered Reef.
E così? Free them? They are cannibals, people eaters. Put a mirror up to that and their minds will collapse. No person enjoys discovering that they are a monster. True, I began with different ambitions. Lucia Rivan desired an army to aid in her conquest. An army that would not succumb to injury or disease. Easy to say, but what to do with them all when they start to rot? Hard for any man to keep his senses when he begins to see the inside of his face. And so, my advisors devised a means by which to make these wretches unaware of their sorry fate.
Enough of this. It makes a smallest motion. A slight wave of the hand and the orb within the nearby platform sizzles and hisses as it had plunged into embers. A chorus of anguish howls rise along the southern face of the cliff. They're coming up to say hello. Yep. Yeah, they are. Yeah.
Athek were than wrath.
They'll fall by my hand.
Yes.
Oh, by my hand. Yeah, but just die, please.
Take him.
Please.
Ha! That's me you're hitting.
Here, please.
Oh?
Yay. Brilliant. Just one round, is that it? Wow. That's amazing. Oh, amazing. I'll do that. Well, this thing here saves the people. helps the undead, so it helps the undead. It stops the undead. So you'll definitely be pressing that. A sphere floats before you, bobbing under the force of its own magical power. Its ruby surface is as sleek and smooth as glass, lit from within with a powerful arcane aura. You can feel the energy press against its confines. Shatter the orb would free it. Though what effect that might have, you're not certain, but it's going to help the other people, because we know that, that's what he said. You strike the glass, cracks appear on the surface, spreading with a discordant crackle. All at once the orb shatters, and the energy it held bursts outward in a radiant flare of light.
Where's the next orb?
I'm going to assume that helps. Well, I've got like one more place to... Super duper ability there, I'm going to kill quite a few of them. Captain's mouth is gagged with a tight bandana. A loop of iron is bolted around her neck, with a glowing end bump up in the metal at the joint. She struggles to speak, but manages only a muffled, garbled yell. Examine the collar. Can't make sense of the symbol, much less whatever spellcraft might be. The killer, innit? Why don't we save it just now? Right. Then we'll see if we can save it. I don't think we'll be able to save it. Voice.
What in blazes is going on? Have you seen those monsters?
Yeah, everyone's under some kind of spell and they're all dead now.
Haven't seen or heard of magic like that anywhere in the Deadfire. Seen my share of curses aimed my way, but not like this. We were sailing under Lowfell, captain of the Antelope, and making good time. A clear sky and a good wind until, out of nowhere, this fog bank rolled in. Then, a great hulk came gliding through the water towards us, nearly stove us there and then. The floating hangman. I got hit so hard it surprised me to wake up again. But the next thing I knew, those things were carting me and Kasungo down the road. Daimo here started hollering, and they all but cracked his skull in two. I have to get him back to Fort Deadlight. You've gotten past them. Help us do the same.
Principe?
Aye. Lately of Captain Lowfell's crew. Friend to Aldi's, if that name means aught to you.
Yeah, hurry through the gap in the...
Our gratitude, stranger. Come by Fort Deadlight sometime, and we'll give you a grand welcome. Though, mayhaps we'll follow your ship a while. Wouldn't do to get caught again.
Good thing or a bad thing?
he's
Got his helmet on his head.
You did it! Look!
Holding his helmet in one hand, Copperhead reaches up to wrap the side of his head with the other.
I heard some strange noises. Took some time to work up the nerve, but I took the helmet off and I've kept me wits.
Yeah, I killed the guy. Spell is broken.
You can't know what this means. I had a long time to get my head right. Figure out what I was. Make peace with that. Maybe it'd be different if everyone else had the same chance. Not sure what I'll do now. At least I know for sure I ain't mad.
He looks down at the helmet.
Here. I don't need this thing anymore. Maybe it'll be some use to you.
Keep it. You can pay me back by coming with me and join my crew. I could take the helm and you could join my crew. Yeah.
You mean it? Because I don't know if you've thought this through. Hardtack won't do the trick with things like me.
We'll be fine. You ever heard of the Adra trade, Copperhead? No, that's it. If you don't mind taking my orders. There are sources of essence apart from people. We'll figure it out. Yeah. small, disbelieving smile creeps across Copperhead's face as he takes in your words. It spreads into a wide and crooked grin of delight.
The sea. A real ship.
A real ship.
Thank you, Captain. A more loyal sailor you'll never find.
Right. Depends what you are, though, mate. Depends what you are. A good sailor, bad sailor? Yeah. There's plenty of ocean to sail and many lands to explore, but what lies ahead of you dwarfs them all. Should you choose to sail on, you suspect there will be no return. Not to the Deadfire, you have come to know. Continue forward. You set a course through the channel and into uncharted, turbulent seas. The storms of Andra's mortar encompasses the visible horizon. Hurricane winds roar like an imprisoned beast, blowing within a force to warp the fairy seas. Past the curtain of rain and above the swell of waves, you can just barely perceive the outline of a colossal Ardra pillars. Sail into the storm, I guess. No sooner does Junk head into the turbulent waters than you catch sight of a ship speeding after you, its sails flapping violently in the winds. Someone has followed you. It remains to be seen whether they can keep up, but for now the storm is concerning enough. Headscarf whipping in the wind, Lindra frowns. Gods, Captain, if I had known, if any of us had known. With a shake of his head, and Benita chuckles. Damn. Tim Counter stands at the rail, much as I hate agreeing with Lindruff. Damn, there ain't no charge for what lies ahead, Watches. Sail straight for it. Erect, perched on the rail, one hand clinging to the rigging. Julic long-crossed laughs, lips curling over uneven teeth. You kidding? This is exactly the kind of shit I signed on for. The hand howls into the wind. A hand falls on your shoulder and you turn to see Eld Ingram. We do go now where gods would not have us tread. Yet their scheme guided us there. Inexorably and incontrovertibly. The hand smile balances on the knife's edge between confronting and disquieting. Happy. Both hands on the wheel, Bildren stares out across the white caps. We're really doing this, aren't we? Setting sail into the mortar itself. God helps us. Yeah, sure. Junk's crew is the finest in the Deadfire. You'll get us through Andra's mortar. Woo! With a faint but determined smile, Ingriff nods. You all know your jobs, and you all know what's at stake. What's this but one more squall? 2 stations. A cheer rises as the hands scurry about the deck. Woo! Heading into the mouth of the storm, you hear the sound of tearing canvas as the wind batters your sails, as uncomfortable omen to the start of a hard voyage. You press on in spite of all misgivings, intent on making it to the bitter end. Looming in the water directly ahead stands a pillar of Ardra. It reaches up from the sea floor to pierce the sky like a god-sized finger aimed in accusation. Before you can worry about the pillar ahead, your ship jolts and the hull groans against Ardra, lurking unseen beneath the waves. Your ship's black wood hull takes a beating without incident, though the pillar itself remains a threat. The choppy current spins your ship toward a collision course, smashing against the pillar's gargantuan trunk. You beg for a quick and unceremonious end to your journey. After a series of hard turns and some clever cheating of the wind, your helmsman narrowly steers the ship out of harm's way, missing the pillar entirely. Though more Ardra pillars are in evidence ahead, but the storm grows fiercer and you persist in challenging it. The howling wind threatens to shred your sails to ribbons and visibility is dropping fast. What begins as an in regulatory and water currents broadens as the sea churns open a maelstrom. Your ship balances on the brink of being swept down. The tide redoubles at the pool, intent on drawing you closer to the unescapable hungry maw. The wind hurls in fury, threatening to tear your sails to ribbons. With a sound like a whip, the dragon wind sails catch the wind and hold fast. The whirlpool still looms ahead. The only option is to sail at full speed, breaking the whirlpool's grasp by force. Your swift manoeuvring breaks the ship free of the maelstrom's deadly grasp. Don't start. Don't start at the unfortunate cost of your sails, which take heavy damage from the turbulent winds. That doesn't look good. The hurling of the wind builds to a constant shriek, and the rain pounds your deck with relentless animosity. A wave swells ahead, monstrous enough to eclipse your vision. The prow of your ship slowly rises to meet it head on. Even if you wanted to, you could not turn back now. Your crew masters their spears and hold fast in their posts. Against all odds, the ship crests the wave successfully. In spite of the crew's haggard state, a cheer goes up in your honour when everyone realises they are still alive. Your ship rides the sheer slope of the wave and crashes back down, staying upright all the while. It doesn't immediately register that you have survived. While the rain continues to indigently pelt you with water, the seas ahead look calmer than those you left behind. Oh no, man. Your relief is short-lived. An enormous form crests the waves and bears down on the junk with incredible speed. Before it can collide with your hull, it dives back into the deep. Tense minutes pass in which you wonder if it will ever resurface. When it doesn't make another appearance, you press on with caution. Oh, what is that? It doesn't look like an animal. It looks like a wood. Though your visibility is low to non-existent and your heading is a mystery, a sense of glimmer of light far ahead on shiny beacon in the obscurity. Taking the wheel, you sail for Earth. Seas are calm again as the skies begin to clear. You make out a growing shape on the horizon. Ukaizo. Ornate spires reach up from the island, hinting at the city within. Not all of Ukaizo has weathered the millennium with equal grace. Other structures jut and lean out of the surrounding shallows, making the waters around the island impassable by ship. You resolve to take the skiff the rest of the way. A good idea? I don't think so. Hey. Stuff. Alright, team. You're here. We're going to take names, right? Travel to Ukaizo. Okay, well, here we are.
Sure.
Okay, it's not a ship. It is not wood either. It is a mechanical metal dragon. The creature stares down at you with only dim recognition of your presence. Water drips down the tip of its mullet-like head.
What manner of creature is this?
The construct turns to the sound of speech, showing only dim awareness of the meaning. It swivels its head back around to face you.
So alone. Never alone. Is Ukaizo breached?
My voice paws at your mind in a clumsy, unpracticed fashion. You feel something like the mental equivalent of a squint. Okay, what are you?
Where are the gates of Ukaizo?
This construct rolls and gaze towards the city.
We guard the silence of Ukaizo. You are a disturbance.
Bronze plates grind together with a discordant shriek. I'm just trying to reach Ephus. He's the one you want. Yeah.
Eothas has disturbed the bones of Ukaizo. The old pacts permit him to pass.
Oh, here we go, eh?
But you will go no further.
You can go further, but you can't.
Ukaizo is closed. The gates are barred.
A wave of heat emanates from the Guardian. Okay. Well, before we settle this, I want to answer about you.
Our covenant with the Old Ones does not forbid questions.
Great.
The living were meant to forget Ukaizo. Nothing can be gained of remembering it.
Why would I ever say that? I don't know. Okay, so I've got history. I was under the impression that dragons love to talk. Sure me. The gates of you guys regard you in disgruntled, calculated silence.
We will indulge ourselves before shredding your name from the long scroll of existence. The chosen people of the Deadfire called Ukaizo home.
It stares off in the distance, fixating on one of Ukaizo's many spires.
The outsiders were their contemporaries, full of wisdom, ingenuity, and terrifying ambition.
The Ingwithins, of course. Only they would create a monster and bind it to guarding their secrets.
They did not create us. They united us as one. The Old Ones and the Outsiders traded, collaborated, learned, and built together. Outsiders augured the doom of the Old Ones. The rift unmade them both.
The depth thumb of power echoes from somewhere beneath the construct's canvas. And what caused the rift?
The Outsiders coveted ancient Ukaizo. Its occupation was a hindrance.
Construct cranes its head around us, wondering the movement of passers-by.
Machines were built on a foundation of outsider lies. When the machines were nearly done, the Outsiders constructed bodies of flesh and bone.
Stretching its neck out, the construct mimics the height greater than its hole.
Skeletons now. Their remains littering great Ukaizo.
Great. So, what were these machines?
Ones which drew the spirits of the dead through a sieve.
The wheel?
Finally, the Outsiders fashioned the Guardian to stand vigil over their work. Our bond with the Old Ones compelled us to trust their allies. They offered us a trade, eternal life for eternal service.
Great trade.
We were ordered to slam shut the gates of Ukaizo for all time.
Well, you didn't do that good a job, did you? So what happened when the machines went active?
The Outsiders vanished from the world, leaving the Old Ones dumbfounded. Quiet gave way to chaos. Storms battered the seas. The sleeping hearts of mountains awoke with fury. When the last screams of the Old Ones faded, only we remained.
So no one has been here since the devastation.
None but the green colossus whose every footstep disturbs tranquility.
And us.
You are the first kith to visit the shores of lost Ukaizo, and you will be the last.
Ah, fight and talk.
This idle chatter was a refreshing change of pace.
Well, we can be civilized.
May your journey through the wheel be an informed one.
Like, I didn't come to fight, but if you bar the way, then I have little choice. So I am here to fight then, basically.
You chose death when you set your bearing, traveler. Prepare yourself.
Lunging forward, the construct attacks.
this.
Oh, look at that. Ooh. Whoa, hello. Ooh. 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 Hello there. Okay. You're deaf. You're deaf, folks. You're deaf. Woo!
A question, Watcher?
Could technically kill you.
Blood.
What?
Ah! Woo. Yeah, finally, everyone is level. Level! Right. Do. A furious storm obscures the sprawling city below, but you can make out the shape of distant spires reaching up from the flooded ruins. Spirit winds tug on your soul with insistent, like stern hand trying to pull a cloak from your back. You recall the last time you encountered a biowick. It feels like a lifetime ago. Okay, so here we are. You look to those who accompanied you this far, who risk everything to face the confrontation ahead. You talk to them, okay. You're looking thoughtful, Layla. Ava looks out at the sprawling ancient city.
5 years ago, you controlled the destiny of thousands of souls in Sun and Shadow.
I did indeed, yes. I did indeed.
But the choice you make today shall define the fate of every living thing in Eora.
La. Whatever I choose, the world will be shaped just as much by countless factors outside my control. I have a responsibility to do right by the world. I'll make the best decision I can.
I know you will. I know you'll choose wisely. And no matter what happens, it's been an honor journeying with you. Again.
Again, yes. He puts his hands on your shoulders, meeting your gaze with a fond smile. Okay, what comes after this, Reek?
A different storm. A bigger one. I am afraid we will all be swept away.
His unusual mischievous, cheerful demeanour evaporates. Angrily, he ties his loose hair into a sloppy bun and plants his hands on his narrow hips.
You do not know Yezua. I hope you do not have to. But I fear that you will.
He stares at you a moment, his brows ceased with worry. You can't tell if it's the scar that pulls his lips into a grimace or his thoughts. At last, he shakes his head.
What happens after is in God's hands. But now I would stay with you. If you will have me.
Gladly, yes.
Good.
He claps you in the back and grins, all trace of the unease that had held his body taut just moments ago washed away by his relief. But as you turn away, you notice a crease forming on his brow. He catches you looking and smiles again, but it doesn't go away. If you want to live forever, following me here was not the way to do it.
It wasn't the threat of death my procedure sought to avoid, but that of rebirth. Now I face the god of rebirth, who's set on destroying the wheel. If I'd known in advance, perhaps I'd have held off on the experiment at sea. Regardless, we are here now, and I stand ready.
Then ready.
Let us finish this.
We will finish it. So what do you make of all this, big man?
If I didn't know you better, Watcher, I might be wondering if you had a death wish right about now.
Chuckling, he takes a long look at his ruined scenery around him, glances of Earth's towering form in the distance, and lets out a deep sigh.
Doesn't seem real, this Ukaizo. Keep half expecting to wake up sweating in my bed at the med. Regretting one beer too many. People like me don't often get to stand side by side with history and help it get made. Nah, regular folk, history's what happens to us. It's a privilege, even if I'm just watching over your shoulder.
He punches you lightly in the arm and grin. When his eyes catch the light, they shine. Alright, I think we're ready. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Go, 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 go.